What's going on, guys? Hayden here, and today I am making the intercooler piping and finishing up the air-to-water setup on the Falcon. I wasn't actually here yesterday at Monday. I've been taking Mondays off, but the intercooler piping showed up yesterday. This is all the stuff I was waiting on. Just this little bit of stuff to do the piping on this. So that showed up. And then also, I guess something funny I thought I'd share with you guys. Hopefully you guys don't get offended, but so I drove all the way from my house to the shop. It's about a 40-minute drive, 35-40 minutes. I went to go throw some trash away in the parking lot, and as I'm walking back, I see the back of my car, and it's got this bumper sticker, or this bumper magnet on it, that says, "I'm so gay, I can't even drive straight." And to be honest, I have no idea who did it, so whoever did it, funny as hell. I don't think Carlos did it. I'm not sure who did it. So it's weird because if I remember right, when I left my house, I walked behind my car and I didn't see it. And so I'm not sure where it got put on my car, but it's funny as hell. I'm not even mad at it. So I'm gonna troll Wyatt with it and stick it on some of his stuff. But yeah, anyways, so I thought I'd share that with you guys. It was pretty funny. Made my morning. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. I wanna try and get all the air to water stuff done today for it, minus the little reservoir and like overflow thing for the water setup on this. So let's get to it. This is what it's looking like. I'm really happy with how this is looking. I just got this piece tacked up. Obviously, I tacked it with it in the car. Kind of hard to ground through stuff when you have plastic couplers. So I got this piece of wire here. Came out of like some 0 gauge wire, just cut apart. Nice little ground so I don't get any weird arc strikes on it. Intake air temp sensor will be going on the car. It'll be really nice. So here's the thing, right? I know I've explained this a lot, but so this is my father-in-law's car. More than likely me and Carlos, the guy with the all-motor K-Series hatch. It's actually his dad's car. But me and Carlos will end up driving this probably the most. His dad will drive it, but as far as like going to the track, I'm sure me and Carlos will probably take it more. So that's the thing, right, is I want my father-in-law to be able to get in this thing and just beat the crap out of it and not have to worry a lot. And to do that, the Holley has a lot of nice features in it where we can hook sensors up and say the intake air temps get really hot, it'll start to pull timing in it. So that's the whole main reason for putting an intake air temp sensor on it. Same thing with that fuel pressure sensor that we put on there. Just a lot of safety precautions so that way, like if he isn't paying attention, the ECU will take care of it and not allow him to basically blow the car up, which makes me happy because then he'll be like, oh, well, so there's something wrong with it. It's not allowing me to do this, or it feels really slow or something, and we can look at it and figure out what's wrong with it. But so the intake air temp sensor will be going over here. Just real simple over in here in this area. And then also we do have this blow off valve over here that will be going somewhat over here also. Now here's the thing. These Pro Charger cars or blower or whatever, centrifugal, whatever the hell this thing is. I call them just Pro Chargers, but these Charger cars, the way I see it, I know you can regulate boost via like a solenoid and everything, but as far as everything else goes, how we're gonna do it, like say off the trans brake, right, we'll start the timer, it'll just be a timing retard, and it'll just basically pull timing out and then add timing back in as based off time, and that'll all be set up with Derek. So other than that, we won't really have boost control on it, but I don't see a reason why he would need boost control in second gear or first gear. I mean, I know for a fact, like in second gear, if you're real low and you floor it, it'll probably spin, but it's not gonna be terrible. But as far as like launching it goes, that'll be a real easy way to control power and do power control. So the blow off valve actually, on this Pro Charger setup, it'll be with a really small spring, so that way it is open on idle. So on idle, it'll have a really small spring, so on idle, it will actually stay open because there's vacuum to the top of it, so it'll suck the blow off valve open. And then obviously once you full throttle, it'll put pressure to the top, so it'll stay closed during full throttle. And then once you let go of the throttle again, all that pressure from inside the pipe will push blow off valve open, and then it'll release the pressure and release all the air out of it. So that's what we want. You don't have to get like a Pro Charger specific blow off valve. A regular blow off valve will work. It's all the same thing. It just releases air after you let off the throttle. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I am going to weld everything up and then put it all back on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move on to mounting this water pump for the air to water setup. Oh man, that's looking really good. I'm really happy with that. Sweet, all fits good. Blow off valve, intake air temp sensors all nice over here. I am happy about that. Yeah, and so in the other video too, I did mention this, but man, I'm really glad that Derek thought about mounting that air to water setup right there. It looks so nice, and it's gonna work really good, and the intercooler piping is gonna end up being so short because of it. So before I was thinking about possibly mounting it in the fender area somewhere up inside there, and then the intercooler piping would have been way longer and have been way more complex. I'm really glad that he thought of this. It didn't even come across me to put the air to water right there in the engine bay. So yeah, shout out to Derek. I appreciate it. Y'all gotta go check out his channel at Slower Than You. He's the one who has Liam Neeson, the old LS swapped D21 Nissan pickup truck. So anyways, I am gonna go ahead and get this all welded up. I just wanted to double check the fitment of everything and make sure it all fit before I welded it. We'll get this welded up real quick, and then, like I said before, move on to mounting this water pump. Lucy, what are you doing? You gotta go say a potty? You go say a potty? Lucy, you gotta say a potty? Lucy, get that fox. Get that fox. Get that fox. Lucy. Hey, Luce. You gotta say a potty? You're so funny, Luce. Aren't you funny? You're so funny. You're so funny. Anyways, guys. So, it is the next day. I guess actually before we start, check it out. So behind me, as you can see, is really bad weather. Supposedly today in Colorado, it's supposed to be a blizzard out. Now I don't actually know if it's gonna be a blizzard or not. I mean, it's coming down pretty good right now. It's about 10:30 right now. But yeah, I've been working on this Falcon. So last night, me and Wyatt were messing with the water pump setup that is for the air to water setup. Trying to figure it out because I had mounted it somewhere and it didn't work. And so we figured out that it has to be gravity fed, and it kind of worked out nice because I had mounted it, and then I made this little reservoir over here that I'll show you. So I made this reservoir, and I put a fitting at the bottom of it down here. So you can see this little fitting I made down here at the bottom for a drain. Now originally I wasn't planning on feeding, holy cow, it was really windy out there, it's like vibrating through the door. But originally I wasn't planning on feeding the pump with that, I was just planning on having that drain back down. But the pump is mounted down there, and it is being gravity fed right now. So real simple, just a 90 fitting on this. I still have to zip tie all the lines up and whatnot, but I wanted to show you guys the setup on it. And once we figured out that it needed to be gravity fed, it was real simple. I am gonna try and turn, so I have the pump wired up to this jump box for right now. So I'm gonna turn the jump box on and see if I can show you guys the swirling action that's in it. And another thing too, if you guys noticed, on this bottom side of this reservoir, I only put this halfway up. So my thought was it'd fill here, and I'm just gonna slosh and swirl a little bit, so it gives me all this room here for it not to spill out. So, and it actually ended up working really good like that. The level in it rises a little bit once the pump is on, obviously, and then when you shut the pump off, it slowly settles back down, but it works really nice. I'm really happy with how that is. So I'm gonna turn this pump on, and then hopefully you guys can maybe hear it or see the water moving around in there. Let's see if I can get you guys to see this swirl in action. So there you can see it. You can kind of see the water swirling around there. Sorry for this really crappy situation. But the water is swirling, it is pumping. I can feel it pumping throughout all the lines. So yeah, real happy with that. I went ahead and did put coolant in this. Now all I need to do for the air to water setup is wire up the actual pump, and then also wire this fan. I'm gonna run the wires kind of similar together inside and do the relays for both of them at the same time. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to finish up what I was doing with the intercooler piping. It is all welded, it's over here. And so it's all done. I got the intake air temp on there. So now before we move on to the blow off valve, I wanted to explain something really quick. So Earlier, I did say that it is an eBay blow-off valve, and that like I had Carlos order an eBay blow-off valve because there's no reason to spend $300 on one because the eBay ones work fine. Basically, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it apart, put a smaller spring in it, or see what springs it has in it, or possibly modify the springs or get a smaller spring for it. And also, while I take it apart, I am going to double check that everything's tight in there. The diaphragm's tight in there, there's nothing weird in there, nothing going on, so we won't have any issues with it. Normally, the only issues I ever see with these eBay blow-off valves are wastegates. I mean, obviously there's some that are pretty crappy, but the ones that we order from, I think it's like the DNA Auto or whatever it is, they're not too bad. It's basically like what VS Racing does, I'm pretty sure, is all they do is just take them apart or rebrand the eBay stuff. So all I do when I get the eBay stuff is I double check them, take them apart, make sure there's nothing loose, nothing broken, etc., etc. Diaphragms not ripped right away, and just make sure that it's actually set up right, because that's basically the main issues that you have with them, is that they were never checked. They're never QC'd when they left, so they just slap them together, and whatever doesn't get tightened. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now, and I'm gonna put once I get that done on the blow-off valve, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the intercooler piping, then put the intercooler piping on. Such a stiff spring. These springs that they actually use for these are really stiff. I do have a couple extra like 3-pound springs in it that I'm gonna see. I think they're about the same width, so I'm gonna take and see if I can do that. And I wanna be able to press it with my fingers. It was so stiff right there that it actually it gets like stuck and like jammed up, like it doesn't want to come off. So I'll just inspect the diaphragm really quick too. These things are super simple, there's nothing to them, so that's why they're so easy. And like I don't see a point to really buy a legit tile unless it's for a customer car that like isn't going to work on it themselves. So what I ended up doing was just cutting 2 of the coils off on the spring. Not exactly sure how tough it feels, maybe 2-3 pounds, but like I said, it will always stay closed as long as this seal that's in here stays nice and tight and it doesn't leak any boost out when the pressure gets put to the top. That's all it really needs to do. So yeah, it should work really well. If I have any issues with it, I will just order an actual tile blow-off valve spring. I'm sure you can get a 3-pound spring, or whatever pound spring you want. So here's another thing too. Actually, I might end up taking it back off, but if you can see this in here, you can see some scratches on the part of the blow-off valve that actually comes up and down. So I may end up taking it back apart and seeing if there's like a burr there or something, or maybe putting like a little bit of lube on there, a little bit of oil or something. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check that out and then put this on and then put the intercooler piping on the car. I want the clamp on the bottom just so it licks on nice. So yeah. Sweet, should be nice and tight. Should have no issue with it. I'm gonna go ahead and get it installed in the car. Got the intercooler piping on there. Fits really good, just gotta put the couplers on it. Really happy with how it turned out. Blow-off valve looks good right there. Gotta hook this up too. It'll be going up to one of these vacuum nipples over here, this big truck one. Did finally get this little evap plug too, so that's nice. Little $10 unit off eBay, but yeah, other than that, besides wiring up this stuff and messing with this belt, that is gonna do it for this video. Next video out on the Falcon should be us doing street poles, hopefully, and actually making poles with boost. So the plan is for this car to surprise my father-in-law on Saturday. It is his birthday. We're gonna be going out for his birthday. We're gonna be going out to dinner. I want to surprise him with the car and let him take it to dinner and actually drive it, because he hasn't drove it in I don't even know how long, 4 years, maybe longer. I'm not exactly sure. So that is the plan, and that's the goals for Friday night, is to have, when Derek comes up here, we'll go do some street tuning and cruise on the street and have Derek tune it. And then after that, we'll be bringing it to the dyno once everything else is all buttoned up, and if we don't have any issues with it, that's what we'll be doing. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let me know what you guys think this Falcon is gonna do as far as power wise. It should be making around 10 to 13 pounds of boost on a very small Vortec. It is a V3 Vortec. It's very little, stock truck motor, stock cam, stock heads, everything else. So, and I hope you guys are ready for a burnout. So this is gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, guys, see ya.